Why study history? This is a question that a lot of students ask, and apart from being very interesting, or at least in my opinion, history is really useful for lots of different careers. It teaches you very practical skills that employers want, and are also useful for everyday life. So one of the key things that you learn in history is learning about different people with different opinions, that have different interpretation on what happens, being able to understand how different people think and what's led to conflicts happening in the past. So this is really, really useful for different kind of team building activities at work in the future. Then the next kind of two things really fit hand in hand. So being able to learn to locate and sift through facts, and also being able to handle that evidence. So we live in a world today where lots of information is on the internet, and there is a lot of information out there on the internet. However, only so much of what you see on there is true. Lots of things, sadly, are also propaganda or just complete lies. And being able to understand and recognize how to find the correct information is really, really vital just to everyday life, but also for an employer in the future. Another key thing that makes history a useful subject to study is being able to communicate your ideas. So you not just communicating through written work, but verbally, being able to defend your opinion. A lot of what we do in history is, your argument. Do you think that was the most important? Do you think something else was? And being able to justify why your argument is stronger than somebody else's. Again, a really useful skill. A final thing that really makes history a great subject to study is that you're able to learn about other countries, societies, and cultures from around the world. And that really, really does help enrich your experiences at school. What makes a good history student then? So at Charter, you'll need to choose between history or geography at GCSE. So with that in mind, what would make you suitable for history? So I would say one of the most important things that you want to have before you study the subject is enthusiasm. You want to find the subject interesting. You want to have that thirst for knowledge. You want to find out more about the world around you. You question what's going on. You want to find out actually why is the world the way it is. Because to be able to understand that, you need to be looking at the past history. I also think it's really good to have passion for justice. So a lot of the events that we study throughout time could often be unjust, and it's important to see what's happened and really want to fight for that just and honest changes. Two other kind of key skills I think will be important in a history student is you do need to sort of enjoy reading and writing. There is, of course, quite a lot of writing in history, and therefore it needs to be something that you enjoy doing. If you really enjoy things, subjects like English and English language, that works really well alongside studying history. A final skill, which some people don't necessarily always consider with history, is this idea of critical thinking, analysing things. Don't just look at things on their surface level. Think about why, or think about why would that be the most important. Having opinions really will help you be a successful history student. So, careers history can lead to then. Often, I think it's quite a funny quote, but you regularly see this for students say, "Oh, but I don't want to be a teacher or work with old things." However, there's so many different careers that history is a really, really useful subject for. So, you've obviously got the more sort of obvious careers, like teaching, working in museums, heritage sites, working in libraries, universities, archaeology. A government civil service. Then there's some that are maybe less obvious on the surface level, such as things like media and journalism. That's a really, really useful to have history GCSE for media and journalism. Charity work, working within the law, becoming like a barrister or solicitor, working within the police and the armed forces. Those are some of the key careers that history can lead to, but they are not the only ones. It's not just your standard careers that history can be helpful for. So there's actually quite a lot of many well-known faces that also share enthusiasm for history, quite a lot of famous people. So you've got people like TV presenters like Jonathan Ross, or comedians like Al Murray, Sacha Baron Cohen, Louis Theroux is a TV presenter. All of these people have got qualifications in history, some being to degree level. So it's not just the standard, oh, I can teach history, work in a museum. There's a variety of different things you can do. If you're interested in finding out some more about how history can help other careers, there is a link onto this PowerPoint where on the Historical Association website they have short videos on how history has helped a variety of different careers, just so you can fully understand why this subject is beneficial in many different ways.